Hi friends, so I'm here to help explain some of the worksheets just in case you need some extra help. So with your workbooks, you're going to be reading a lot of stories about colonial America, and with the worksheets, we're going to start with the first page, which is 1.1. And on that page, it is titled The First English Colony. So if you're working on that worksheet, I'm here to break that down for you. So on question 1, it says, I'm going to read on my computer, how many expeditions did Sir Walter Raleigh oversee? Now, Sir Walter Raleigh is your keyword in this question. When you go back through the text, I want you to look for that name. That's the first name you're going to be searching. Now, the second keyword is expeditions. Also, we're going to be looking for a number. So if you're figuring out what to look for his name, you're going to look for the expeditions and how many he did. So when you write that down, you need to write it in a complete sentence, starting with Sir Walter Raleigh, and then tell us how many expeditions he went on in a complete sentence. Remember, at the bottom, write the page number that you found your answer in, because that answer is going to be in a paragraph in the text. All right, now moving on to question 2. It says, which of Sir Walter Raleigh's expeditions were Robert and George a part of, and how do you know? Okay, so now we're asking for 2 answers or 2 sentences in this particular question. So which of Sir Walter Raleigh's expeditions were Robert and George a part of, and how do you know? So there are specific expeditions that they were a part of, and they're asking you which ones. So there's going to be a correct answer of what expeditions they went on. So you need to find that in the text, what expeditions they went on. And then for your second sentence, you're going to write how you know. So if you look in the text and it tells you where you found it, and you can say because the text says, and then give us what the text had said. All right, because the text is how you know, it's where you found your answer. And then you can write the page number below it. On question 3, it says, why were Robert and George afraid when they first arrived at Roanoke Island? So in the text, it's going to show what they were afraid of and tell us why they were afraid of that thing. So stick with 1 to 2 sentences. I think you can write it in 1, but if you need to further explain, go ahead and do it in 2. So why were they afraid when they made it to Roanoke Islands? All right, now moving forward, there's still a few more questions for this particular story. It says, write true or false, and then write the page number that has the answer. So when you have questions that says, in 1587, John Rolfe and others sailed away to the New World, write true or false, and then the page number that is on. So just to read the extra questions, in case we have trouble reading, I'm going to read the rest of them. It says, the decision was made for the 1584 expedition to join the Spanish in Central America. Is that true or false? Robert and George were members of Sir Walter Raleigh's 3rd expedition. So 3rd expedition, is that true or false? It was thought that the Spanish conquistadors were responsible for the possible death of 14 explorers at the Roanoke Island fort. Is that true or false? Sir Walter Raleigh took one of the remaining ships to return to England to get supplies back to the colonists before I can't read from far away, from the harshest part of the winter. So I'll read that again. Sir Walter Raleigh took one of the remaining ships to return to England to get supplies back to the colonists before the harshest part of winter. Is that true or false? So now we go to our final question, number 5, which says, write the main idea of this chapter. So based off of everything that you read, what was the point of the story? What was the main idea? What did the writer want to talk about? In just 2 or 3 sentences, or maybe just 2, write a few sentences of how how the point was come across in the story. So what is the main idea of the chapter?